Welcome to the Pulse of Spokane. Join us for the latest in news, views, and conversation with community leaders. The Pulse of Spokane is brought to you in part by Homes for You, Well Dressed Walrus, and Spokane Firefighters Local 29. Now, put your finger on the Pulse of Spokane.
Welcome to the Pulse of Spokane. Kent Adams here. I hope you're having a great day. You will if you watch our program. We've got some great guests. Stay tuned.
This is Looms Day in Spokane. We got about 40 firefighters and their friends and family handing out 40,000 cups of water as the day goes by.
It's a very good opportunity to see the public and support them and help them out and cheer them on during Blooms Day.
It's one of the best things about Spokane is that we have these major events and the whole community comes together not just to participate, but to volunteer and show that they really care about our city and making our city look great.
This type of an event really is emblematic of Spokane because so many people get involved. We have 50,000 people probably running this race. Always has been a very huge event.
Right now we're at the corner of Broadway and Nettleton. It's the last water station before the finish, so people are pretty much dehydrated by the time they get to us. They really need our water.
The water stations are a vital part, especially on warm days like today. It's real important that we have the volunteers to help with that. Without the volunteers, Blooms Day wouldn't exist.
All up and down the course, there are people that are involved in this celebration. It really is a celebration of what Spokane's all about.
Well, welcome. I'm pleased to have Rodin?
Rodin, yeah.
Rodin.
Yep.
Okay, I knew I'd mess that up, okay?
That's right.
I'm probably the first one to ever mess it up.
Actually, yeah, first one ever.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Right.
Thanks a lot there, Ryan. Okay, your interview's over. No, I'm kidding. You're with the Red Cross here in Spokane, and I think before we rolled tape here, I mentioned to you that my son has been a firefighter in the Air Force and is now out at Fairchild as a civilian firefighter, and of course is very involved in safety and all those kinds of things. And his comment to me about 6, 7, 8 years ago was, Dad, if there's ever a way to help the Red Cross, help promote them. They do great things with after we leave the scene and so forth to help people and so forth. You're what, executive director, president? What's the title?
Executive director of the Greater Inland Northwest chapter of the American Red Cross. It's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful. Yeah. Okay, how long have you been on the job?
Coming up on 6 months now.
Okay, you're a newbie.
I am.
But you're not new to Spokane. You've been around for a while.
Correct, and not new to the Red Cross. I was a board member for the local chapter for about 5 years prior to taking this role.
Okay, well, good for you.
But yeah, and I've been in Spokane since 2002.
Okay.
I finished my last 2 years of high school here, went to Whitworth, and have been here pretty much ever since. So Spokane is definitely home for me.
It is home, yes, great. Well, I got you beat by 40 some years.
Couple decades,
yeah. It's a great place. Well, tell our audience about the Red Cross, because we all think about disasters across the country. We've had hurricanes and tornadoes and you name it, and things go on. But the Red Cross is much more than the big events, isn't it?
Yeah.
And especially here in Spokane. What are some of the things that your organization does here in Spokane?
So locally, briefly starting bigger picture, so Red Cross, we actually have 5 lines of service. And so disaster response and preparedness is just one of them.
Okay.
Another one you touched on earlier, service to the armed forces. I think that's one that people probably know the least about.
Yes.
But here locally, we have a permanent presence at the VA hospital. We have a permanent presence at the at Fairchild Air Force Base. We're at the Vets Home at least once a month. We're at the Veterans Cemetery on an as-needed basis.
Yes.
We do quite a bit for veterans. We have a great pool of volunteers here that do most of the work at the Red Cross.
Wow, I didn't realize that. That's great to know.
Yeah.
That's great to know.
Yeah. So,
okay, that's a couple. You said 5.
That's a couple. Yeah. So 3 more. International services.
Yes.
And so that's one. We don't do as much of that here locally.
Right.
And then we have training services. So those are the CPR classes.
Yes.
Lifeguard, even babysitting classes. Any business can sign up to get any of the training classes.
I know so many of my friends and even my daughter, who's now in her 40s and so forth, have gone through the CPR, and the babysitting and those kinds of things. So that's a great opportunity.
Yeah, we do a lot of that here locally. And the last one is biomedical services.
Okay.
So that's mostly around blood collection.
Okay.
Most people don't know the Red Cross is the nation's largest collector of blood. We collect about 40%, and we've been doing that ever since about 1940.
Yeah, just not here in Spokane.
Not as much as Spokane. My chapter includes Wenatchee and up to Okanagan, so we do a lot there.
Right.
And we do a lot in the chapter just south of me in the Tri-Cities, Yakima area, but not as much in Spokane.
Where do you, as an old fundraiser, how do you survive? Where do you get your dollars to operate? Because we all know it takes money for a nonprofit.
Yes, yeah. There's a common misconception that Red Cross is a government agency. We are not. We are our own 501c3. And so a lot of our income just comes from individual donations, corporate donations. We have a lot of great corporate sponsorships.
Yes.
And the biomedical piece, that's a good portion of our income as well. We recoup the cost of collecting blood.
Sure.
So that's a big portion too, but mostly just private individuals and corporations.
What are some of the things coming up this fall with the Red Cross here locally?
Great question. So actually we are in the middle of National Fire Prevention Week.
Ooh, okay.
And so it's a national
push. It's all coming back to my son, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. That was a great lead in. So so nationally it's October 6th to 12th.
Okay.
And it's all around educating people about home fire preparedness and safety. So two of the main things that if you're a homeowner, especially with a family, that you'll want to do, one is come up with an escape plan.
Yes.
So sit down with your family, whoever you live with, and you can draw out a map of your house, all the levels, and you want to make sure that every room that someone is sleeping in, that there are at least 2 ways to escape the room if there's a fire, and then practice your escape plan, and then also find a meeting point somewhere outside of the home.
So you make sure everybody's out.
Exactly, yeah. So you can count noses, make sure everybody's safe, and practice that on a regular basis, because you never know. They say on average you might have up to 2 minutes to escape a house fire, sometimes much less than that.
Yeah, I was going to say, because sometimes you don't discover it for a little bit of time, and that 2 minutes is a lot less.
Yeah, and also sleep with your bedroom doors closed.
You know, I was seeing that on Facebook just again the other day to remind me, and we've never done it. Ooh, we're in trouble.
Yeah, I think most people probably don't.
Yeah.
So just a
and
reminder.
the smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors
yes, that's the second
are
item.
really important.
Extremely important, yeah. So you want to check those every month. If you have smoke detectors that need a battery, then be sure to check those every month. Replace the batteries often. Don't ignore the beeping or take the battery out when it beeps. Actually replace it. And along the lines of smoke alarm installation, we actually have a program at the Red Cross called the Home Fire Campaign.
Okay.
And we've been doing that since 2014, and that's where we actually install free smoke alarms in people's houses, whoever needs it.
Oh, nice.
We try to target the underprivileged communities.
Right.
But we'll do it in anyone's home. And since we started in 2014, we've installed more than 1.5 million alarms in people's homes. And through the program, we've actually saved almost 650 lives across the country from alarms that we've installed through the program.
Wow.
So, and actually 2 of those are in Spokane Valley, one of them very recently in Wenatchee.
Wow. Can folks go to your website and get a lot of this information in terms of the escape plans and things like that? Is that a good place to go?
Yeah, just a redcross.org. There are a ton of resources there. Look for the Home Fire Campaign. And also the Spokane Fire Department. They're doing a tremendous job of putting information out there, educating people. And we're actually partnering with the Spokane Fire Department. This Saturday, we're doing a smoke alarm install event.
Oh, nice.
And so we have a great relationship with the fire department, and they've helped us identify a neighborhood in the Garland area.
Sure.
It's about 500 homes, and we're hoping to install between 200 to 300 alarms in that neighborhood. So we have a team of about 25 volunteers, and then a big team from the Spokane Fire Department, firefighters coming in on a day off, helping us install alarms.
Great bunch of guys. In fact,
the
local union, Local 29, I'm going to give them a plug here because they help you and everybody else in town. Just out for Bloomsday to give out water, and you mentioned it was one of our sponsors. And so they step up to get the good word out. So they're helping bring this message.
They're extremely
today.
supportive. Big team showing up on Saturday, and it's going to be a great event.
Well, we're almost running out of time, but I know you've got a list and a half here, and we probably haven't covered it all, but what are a couple things coming up this fall, other things that people should be aware of, and then we'll give them the plug at the end here on the website?
Sure, yeah. Just reiterate the home fire campaign. That's a big one. We have a goal in our chapter to install 1,000 alarms by the end of our fiscal year, which is the end of next June.
Okay.
And so if you're a business that, if you want to help provide volunteers, PEMCO Insurance is a big supporter.
Oh, nice. Good for them.
If you want to provide volunteers, that's great. If you want to help donate alarms, they're $15 an alarm.
Okay.
So you can make a whole neighborhood safe.
Yeah.
So really, that's the big focus right now. As we're in the middle of Home Fire Prevention Week, we're pushing
That's
that.
really so important. We got to
people are
prevent
educated.
injuries and fires if we can.
Exactly.
Ryan, thank you very much. Keep
Thanks,
up the
Kent.
good work. Okay,
Appreciate it.
you and your staff and all your volunteers.
Thank you.
Because I know you've got a host of volunteers, don't you?
We do, yeah, tremendous volunteers.
We depend on volunteers for nonprofits.
Yes, sir. Yeah, very
All right.
much so.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back right after this.
In honor of Hutton Settlement's centennial celebration, join us for a special production that brings to life the remarkable story of the Hutton Settlement. The Hutton Settlement, along with the Spokane Civic Theater, present A Place to Call Home, written and directed by Tim Rarick. When May Hutton died in 1915, her husband of 28 years, Levi W. Hutton, overcame his great sadness and then set out on a journey to fulfill a lifetime dream. A Place to Call Home tells the story of Levi Hutton's struggles and joys as he built and endowed the 100-year-old Hutton Settlement. Performances will take place on October 25th, 26th, 27th, and November 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. The tickets for all dates and all ages is $25 and can be purchased through the Spokane Civic Theater's box office. For questions about tickets or specifics on sales, please call the Spokane Civic Theater box office at 509-325-2507. Or for any other inquiries, please call Hutton Settlement at 509-838-2789.
Well, welcome back. Kasey Cloaninger?
Cloaninger.
I knew I was going to get that wrong.
Okay.
You've only been an intern with us and everything else.
I
know a Cloaninger, that's why.
Okay.
That's why. And I've known that person for like 20 years. So it's hard to get to the next step.
Next time I'll quiz you.
And Kasey, I'm ancient. Okay? Things don't always work. Okay? Hey, in addition to being our intern in the past and going to EWU and working on your master's degree at EWU, we had to get the plug in, right?
Yep.
You're with Campfire. What are you doing there? What's going on?
So, as of today, I've been there 1 year.
Oh,
Exactly.
really?
October
All right.
8th.
Well,
Yep.
congratulations.
Thank you. It's been a great year. I've learned a lot.
Yes.
And been
Welcome to the
really
real
awesome
world of
things.
working,
I know,
right?
I know. My parents are so proud. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
But there I do some club programming for them. And we're looking to really start building up the club program, bringing some new clubs into Spokane.
Tell me about the club program. What is that? Explain that.
So basically, how we describe it, essentially, if you don't know anything about Campfire, it is like Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, but we do offer a lot of different things, different curriculum. Basically, clubs meet about once or twice a month. They get together, they work on stuff. They work on things like learning about themselves. They learn about nature. They learn about community service, and they do a lot of community service too.
It's kind of getting that group together and working as a team.
Yes,
really, and
as
that's
a
what it comes
team,
because that's going to be practical later on, both in family, but also in the workplace. A lot of the questions being asked today of prospective workers is, are you a team player? What have you done to help lead or work with a team and those kinds? You've probably gotten that in a few interviews, right?
A little bit,
Okay. Now this is just for boys, just for girls?
So we are co-ed, and that's what's cool about Campfire.
Yeah. Okay. So how do people, at what age, walk through where do they start at? First grade?
So,
second grade?
Another cool thing is we actually start at 3 years old. So
really?
we run about 3 to 18.
Okay.
And so that's kind of the cool thing is if, your kids aren't in kindergarten yet and you're like, how can I get them involved in something that we do offer them until
fun.
to start at 3 years old.
Okay. So name some of the clubs.
So the different clubs, usually they're people's last names.
You get penalized if you forget any.
If I forget, well, our clubs there are usually people's last names. They're the leaders' last names who run the clubs.
Oh, okay.
And so we have about 12 to 13 clubs in the Spokane area right now.
Okay, okay.
And a lot of them are.
You're hoping to get up to 15 or 20 this fall?
Hoping.
Oh, okay, okay. We got to keep working at it,
I know, right? I got to get out there, promote it a little bit more.
Most importantly, how can people get more information? Let me take a wild guess. You might might have a website.
Oh my gosh, we do.
Oh, okay.
We do. It is campfireinc.org.
Okay.
And once you go to that website, you can learn so much more about clubs, get into
Okay.
contact with me and other people, and learn about some of our upcoming events.
Okay, so if you're not there, you'll get back to them in the next day or something
Yes,
like that.
for sure.
Absolutely.
For sure. I'm checking my email all the time.
Oh yeah, we live by
So,
email, don't
oh my
we?
gosh,
And
right?
text messages.
Yep.
Who calls anymore, right?
No one
So,
at all.
okay, are you on Facebook too?
So we are. We
Okay.
have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that good
All
stuff.
the social media.
Yeah, we're
Wow.
covering everything. Yeah.
Okay, well great. Well, one more time, the website is?
It is campfireinc.org.
All right, great.
So-
Casey, good to see you.
You too,
Good to see you.
thank
Good to
you.
see you working.
I know, right?
Yeah, right. Instead of you've got classes at night out of
I
Eastern, don't you?
do. I do.
Yeah, yeah.
Pretty busy.
Are you
so-
enjoying your schooling though?
I am. Yeah, I have 1 year left. Crossing my fingers.
year.
My parents will be excited for me to be done.
Yeah, we parents are always
Yes,
that way. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Thank you. Good to see you
Yes,
again.
you
All right.
too.
All right. Thanks.
We believe every person is created in the image of God with immeasurable beauty and worth, that people should not be defined by their present condition or past mistakes. We are all broken. We need each other. Healing for our brokenness begins with connection, with understanding how much we are loved by a good God. And with healing comes change, the potential for joy and meaning. No one was created for mere survival on the streets, for an existence blurred by mind-numbing substances. Each person is created with a purpose, a unique gift no one else can offer the world. Our job is to help them rediscover it. Real people, real change. Union Gospel Mission.
Well, welcome back. A friend of mine and one of our sponsors, Larry Myers from
sir.
River Ridge Hardware. How are you doing?
We're doing great.
Yes. Yes. You just had a paint sale not long ago, and things went well for this time of year, right?
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a great paint sale, and prior to that, we had our first annual ladies' night.
Yes, I was going to ask you
Yeah.
about that. How did that go?
That was a lot of fun.
Was
so
it?
I did something different where we did a poker run between different booths, and so they got to collect up to 7 cards. And
Okay.
so we had 3 winners, and
So
they won some
so
fun
to see what
prizes.
hand they had, right?
Yeah.
Is that how? That's,
Yeah, so
how
they
many,
got to turn in 5 cards.
Okay.
You know, their best 5. And,
Okay.
And then whoever had the best hand won. So I had a first, a second, and third prize. And I had a pizza oven. I had over $100 worth of painting supplies.
Oh, fun. That sounds like a hoot.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
great. It was a great time. All the women that went had a great time.
Good.
Men had a good time.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
it was a lot of fun. So
All
we're
right.
doing some fun stuff like that.
Yes, that makes it different than some of the big brand name stores and
Sure.
so forth and so forth. And I have to tell you, Larry, when I talk to people, when they ask, well, who are some of your sponsors, and I will mention you, of course, and people go, oh, he's got a great store. You have a great reputation, and part of that, because I've seen it when I've gone in, your people care about who walks in, and you help people.
Yeah.
That really, I think, makes the difference. It's that local small business, home-owned store.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's something I really enjoy, and it was my easy transition from mortgages to the store because I always enjoyed helping people.
Yeah.
And that's exactly, my kind of statement out there is neighbors helping neighbors.
Yes.
And I truly mean it. Is
Yeah.
we want to be part of the neighborhood, helping
Right.
other neighbors, doing their projects, getting their projects done,
Right.
and helping them try to figure out the best means of doing that
Yeah.
project that they got going on in their house.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm going to guess that something like Halloween is coming up.
Yeah.
Is there a reason for this here today?
Exactly. My buddy Wardy.
Wardy?
Yeah. He.
Okay.
So we have all kinds of different pumpkins, and just real fun pumpkins. I get majority of my pumpkins from up in Airway Heights from the
Yes.
rights up there, and they do a great job of growing just some perfect carving pumpkins. So
Yeah.
I try to make it easy where you don't have to go figure out, weigh it, and then say, oh, well,
Yeah.
wait, that one's too much. I just have prices marked underneath and
Easy to figure out.
yeah, exactly. Come and get
I don't
it.
have to play this game. Nope, too big, too small.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
too expensive.
Exactly. So we have.
You're thinking about all the guys who don't want to have to go through that. Is what you're thinking about. Okay?
Exactly. Just make it easy.
Yeah.
Pick a bunch of pumpkins, and I try to work with some of the charities and
Yes.
and churches out there that are doing events and
Nice.
help give out some pumpkins to those. And
So when you say neighbor helping neighbor, you're not kidding.
You're right. Exactly. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I do a lot with Finch Elementary next door.
Good. Good. Yes.
We just sponsored. There's an art. They're trying to put together a big art where they got an artist coming in, and I'm providing a bunch of paint for that.
Fun.
So I try to get involved in
What
that.
else do you have hiding
Well,
back there that's Halloween?
If you don't like to carve pumpkins,
Yeah.
we have the pumpkin bag.
Oh.
You can pick 'em up, clean up your neighbor's yard from
Yes,
the tree
right.
that went all over it, and then put those out. And
We do see a lot of those in the neighborhood, don't we?
Exactly.
That's fun. That's
Yeah,
fun. Yes.
right.
I mean, if you have to leave the bag out front, why not have fun with it, right?
Right, exactly. And then I brought a saw blade because we tripled our Diablo section.
Okay.
From there was a woodworking company that is no longer in Spokane anymore, and they were really a router. We have a huge supply of router bits.
Okay.
And this is a bit, or actually a blade, that will cut through instead of having one that throws out sparks. This will actually cut metal.
Really?
And you can put it in your handsaw, cut through
Wow.
metal, and so it's a.
Is that
great,
kind of a new thing?
Yeah, it's an alternative, and the way that the blades are made make them, they're diamond, and they
Yes.
just snap right through. They also make one that's kind of multi, so you can be cutting through a board that has nails, and it'll just cut right through it. So Diablo really does a great job.
Nice.
And we have the whole selection of
Nice.
all the Diablo blades. So
Great.
That's why I brought it.
Well, tell people where you are and then
We're
how
on
they
the-
can find you.
We're on the corner of Garland and Driscoll.
Okay.
2803 West Garland.
Okay.
And it's www.riverridgehardware.com.
All right.
You can see everything that's going on. Also inside there is Frame It Today.
Yes.
And Frame It Today, we do all kinds of custom framing. So right there on the corner of Driscoll and Garland.
All right. Great place, great people. I'm always impressed with your staff there.
Well, thank you.
Always nice. It really makes a difference.
And
because
we enjoy being there.
Yeah, great. Thanks,
Thank
Larry.
you.
Thanks, thanks
You
a
guys
lot.
have a great day.
Thanks for watching.
The Pulse of Spokane is produced in Spokane, Washington by SpokaneTalksMedia.com, which is solely responsible for its content. The Pulse of Spokane is brought to you in part by Homes for You, Well Dressed Walrus, and Spokane Firefighters Local 29. Ask the host a question, recommend a guest, or hear this program again on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or SpokaneTalksMedia.com.